In 1928, the students of a school called Spectral Valley High head to a museum in New Jersey for a school trip. While a docent is talking about one of the objects on display, a girl named B gets distracted and seems more interested in touching another object. Her teacher immediately stops her from doing it because it's against the museum's rules to touch random artifacts. B pretends to listen, but as her teacher looks away, she touches the object and feels fulfilled. Just then, the docent leads the students to take a look at some other artifacts. On the way, one of B's classmates asks why she had to touch the other object earlier. B says it was beautiful and full of mystery, but her classmate still doesn't get this. Almost immediately, B sees a closed-off section and suggests going down there secretly. Her classmate finds this weird and points out that the sign in front of the place says it's off-limits. B says it doesn't matter, but her classmate wonders why she's always bent on doing things that could get her in trouble. B doesn't seem to care much about what he thinks, and she walks into the closed-off section alone.
I'm going. Wet blanket.
Shortly after, she sees 2 rings inside a glass case and admires them. She eventually gets the urge to pick up one of the rings, and as she takes a closer look at it, a security guard shows up. B quickly hides the ring, and the security guard complains that the room is off limits because it's under renovation. B pretends like she didn't see the sign earlier, and the guard offers to take her to meet her classmates. B looks worried because she's still with the ring, and she tells the guard to close his eyes, saying she wants to do a magic trick. The guard doesn't seem interested, and B is forced to leave the room with the ring because she doesn't want to be accused of trying to steal it. When she leaves the museum with her classmates, she suddenly gets the urge to take another close look at the ring. As she does this, a strange light suddenly blinks on the ring, and B looks confused. Before she can figure out what's happening, a passing car loses control and hits her. Many years later, a boy named Cole and his mom, Katerina, moved to a new town after the death of Cole's father. When they get to their new house, Katerina seems excited and tells Cole that she thinks they'll be happy there. However, Cole doesn't really say much because he still misses his dad. Shortly after, they get out of the car and head into the house. As Cole looks around, he hears music playing in a room upstairs and goes to stop the vintage music player. Later that day, after cleaning up the house, Katerina asks Cole if he's excited about going to a new school. Cole jokes that no one has ever been excited about going to school, and Katerina says he's right. She then notices that he's already opting out of the social groups at his new school. Katerina asks why Cole is doing that, and she seems surprised that he's not interested in joining the music group. Cole says he's fine, but Katerina tries to encourage him to change his mind so he can make some new friends. She also talks about how much he used to like music, but that he hasn't even played his guitar since his dad died. Cole says he doesn't want to talk about it, and before Katerina can say anything else, they hear a strange sound upstairs. They both look confused, and Katerina tells Cole to check the room to make sure that his cat, Norman, is fine.
I'm fine. Really?
When Cole gets to the room, he sees a picture frame on the ground and confirms that Norman is okay. After he picks up the frame and puts it back on the wall, B suddenly appears next to him and asks if the man in the picture is Cole's dad. Surprisingly, Cole cannot see her, and as he walks back downstairs, B complains that no one ever answers her back. The next day, Cole heads to Spectral Valley High for his first day. In class, the literature teacher, Mr. Porter, talks about the book titled The Great Gatsby. He eventually asks Cole about the book, but Cole says he hasn't read it yet. Mr. Porter looks confused because there are several highlighted texts in Cole's book, but he doesn't complain about this. After the class ends, though, he calls Cole and asks why he lied about not reading the book. Cole says he doesn't know, and Porter advises him not to live a boring life by avoiding the spotlight and keeping his opinions to himself.
Why did you say you didn't read the book?
Shortly after, while Cole is having lunch in the cafeteria, a girl named Lydia suddenly joins him at his table and says that there's death around him. Cole looks confused, but Lydia insists that the big hole in Cole's bread implies that there's death around him. Cole asks if it means he'll die, and Lydia says it's possible. She adds that the hole might also mean that someone who is already dead is having an influence on his life. Cole thinks she's just making things up, but Lydia says he can come to her grandfather's supernatural bookstore anytime he's free so she can cleanse his aura and figure out if there's something haunting him. Later that day, when Cole arrives home, he stares at the pictures of himself and his dad. Cole also remembers playing the guitar and singing with his dad. This makes him sad, and he just walks toward his closet to change his clothes. Almost immediately, he sees a small secret door inside the closet and finds a strange book there. As he takes a look at the book, it turns out to be B's old photo album. Cole seems amazed and realizes that B used to live in the house. However, he notices that there are some missing pages in the album, and he looks confused. Just then, B shows up beside him and repeatedly tries to close the book, saying it's private. Cole looks confused because he doesn't understand what's happening, and as he eventually closes the book, the special ring from the museum falls to the ground, but he doesn't see it.
That's private, mister.
The next morning, as Cole prepares to leave for school, he accidentally steps on the ring and looks amazed when he sees it. After putting it on, B appears behind him and tries to say something about the ring. Interestingly, Cole can now see her, and as he looks really scared, he takes off the ring and falls to the ground. He eventually puts it back on, but before B can say anything, he takes it off again. He then realizes that she's the girl who used to live in the house. Cole doesn't understand why he can only see her when he puts on the ring, but as he does this again, B begs him to leave it on because he's the first person to see her in years. Cole agrees to do this, and B introduces herself, saying she's haunting his bedroom. After she also explains that she's a ghost, Cole looks confused because he still doesn't understand what's happening. B then talks about how she can touch random things when she's focused, but she can't do the same with humans. Cole still looks confused and asks how she's in the room even though she's dead. B says she has no idea, and she explains what happened on the day she went to the museum and found the ring.
You were hit by a car?
It was a doozy.
She adds that just as she left the museum, she got hit by a car and died instantly. She eventually found herself back at the house and realized that she couldn't leave. Before Cole can say anything, his mom enters the room to remind him that he'll be late for school. Cole looks nervous, but B tells him not to worry because he's the only one who can see her. After Katerina leaves the room, Cole tells B that he has to go to school, and she says she'll be waiting for him to return. Cole still cannot wrap his head around the fact that he can see a ghost, and he says he's probably just hallucinating. He then takes off the ring and drops it on the table before heading out. At school that day, Cole seems pretty distracted, and Lydia notices this. Shortly after, Porter informs all the students that they can now register to perform at the school's upcoming talent show. Cole doesn't seem interested in this, and he just heads home.
What?
When he gets there, he sees his mom crying while watching an old video of him and his dad singing. Cole looks sad, but immediately heads to his bedroom. He then puts the ring on and notices that B isn't around anymore. He looks relieved and assumes that he was just hallucinating, but as he opens the closet, B scares him. Cole cannot believe that she's still around, but he agrees to share his room with her as long as she stays away from him. B says she'd like them to be friends because she hasn't had one in years, but Cole mentions that he doesn't want a dead friend. After he takes off the ring, B distracts him by moving a chair so she can look at the pictures on the wall. Cole is forced to put the ring back on, and B asks about the people in the pictures. Cole says they're musicians, and B talks about her love for music. She adds that both her parents were musicians, and she grew up in a conservatory. B then asks about Cole's guitar and if he can play it. Cole says he doesn't play anymore, and as B asks why, he says he doesn't want to talk about it.
Do you play?
Not anymore.
The next morning, Cole heads down to have breakfast with his mom. Katerina asks about Cole's new friends, but he looks confused. She then mentions that she heard him talking in his room last night and assumed that he had made new friends. Cole realizes that she must have heard him talking to B, but he doesn't say much about it. As Katerina looks for the salt container on the table, Cole sees it floating in the air and quickly grabs it so that his mom won't notice that the house is haunted. Katerina notices that something is wrong, but Cole says he doesn't want her to take too much salt because it can raise her blood pressure. Katerina looks shocked and believes Cole is scared that she might die, just like his dad. Cole says that's not what happened, but Katerina encourages him to talk about his late dad if he wants. Cole seems sad but doesn't know what to say, so he just stays silent. Shortly after, he returns to his room and tells B to stop trying to haunt his mom. B says she was only trying to help, but Cole says the last thing his mom needs is a century-old ghost haunting her. He adds that he'll hang out and chill with B as long as she stays away from Katerina. B looks happy about this, but she asks what Cole meant when he called her a century-old ghost.
What do you mean, century-old ghost?
Cole then explains that B died many years ago, and she looks sad because she thought it had only been a few years. Almost immediately, she notices that she can now put her hand out the window. Since this means she can probably leave the house, she heads downstairs with Cole to try it. Luckily, she's able to leave the house for the first time in years, and she realizes that the ring kept her trapped inside, and she can actually go anywhere the ring goes. B then begs Cole to take her around the city so she can see some of the things she has missed. Cole agrees to do this, and he takes her to different places and explains how some things work. Later that night, they return home, and B stares at a plane in the sky. Cole notices this and asks if planes didn't exist in her time. B says they did, and that she often thought about being a pilot, even though it was unlikely. Cole says it's not impossible, but B implies that there aren't many female pilots in the world. Cole still believes she can do it, and B says she hopes she can see a plane up close one day. Suddenly, they both seem attracted to each other. And as Cole gets nervous, he says he's going to bed because he doesn't want to be late for school. B realizes that he goes to Spectral Valley High, and she begs him to take her there. Cole says it's a bad idea and that he can't have her moving around the school. The next day, Cole changes his mind and takes B to school. She seems excited and looks around while Cole pretends like she's not there. Lydia eventually scares Cole with her Halloween costume, and she asks why he's not dressed as anything. Cole jokes that he's dressed as a regular kid, and B suddenly stands next to him. As he gets uncomfortable, Lydia notices that something is wrong, and she says she's getting a weird vibe coming from around him. Cole denies this and tries to take off the ring, but Lydia sees it. She asks what kind of ring it is, but Cole says it's just something he found at home. Lydia still thinks he's acting weird, but he says he's fine. He then walks away and finds B playing a piano inside the music room. As he looks impressed, she encourages him to take a guitar from the wall and play with her. Despite initially hesitating, Cole plays the guitar and leaves B impressed. Later that day, Lydia returns to her grandfather's bookstore and cannot seem to forget about Cole's ring because she's sure that she has seen it before. After doing some research, she figures out that the ring is part of an ancient pair called the Lovers' Rings. She also learns that a priest cursed the rings during the lovers' burial so that they would never be apart in death. Interestingly, it turns out that anyone who separates the rings will suffer a violent death and be cursed to wander the earth forever until the ring is returned with its pair. Lydia looks shocked by this, and she wonders what Cole has gotten himself into. Elsewhere, Cole hangs out with B, and she asks why he's not planning to play his guitar at the school's talent show. Cole says he hasn't really played since his dad died, and B asks if his dad was the one who taught him how to play. Cole then talks about his dad's love for music and how he suddenly died of a heart attack. B feels sorry for him, and she tells him that she often misses her family and friends. As she also mentions that today is the anniversary of her death, Cole suggests taking her to New York City to celebrate. B looks quite excited.
Sometimes I wish I could just go back.
And Cole takes her to a Gatsby party. There, B suddenly becomes visible and holds Cole's hands. She doesn't understand how that's possible, but Cole looks happy for her. They eventually change into new clothes for the party and spend most of their time dancing together. Interestingly, they now seem to like each other, and after a while, they leave the party. On the way home, Cole and B stop at a nearby cemetery to watch a plane flying up close. B looks amazed, and Cole asks why she likes explains. B says they're simply a symbol of freedom that makes her believe she can go anywhere she wants. Cole then asks where she'd like to go next, but B says she'd prefer to stay with him. Just then, B notices that she's back to being a ghost, and she looks sad. The next day, Lydia tells Cole to stop by the bookstore after school, and he does just this. She then tells him about the ring and says that she thinks someone separated it from its pair a long time ago. She adds that the person is now cursed and probably haunting Cole. Cole pretends not to know, and Lydia says that, according to the legend, the ghost can become fully visible on the one night of the year it died. Cole realizes that it's true, but he still doesn't imply that he knows about the ghost. Lydia then tells him that he can get rid of the ghost by bringing the two rings together again. Cole asks where the other one is, and Lydia says it's at the Ancient History Museum of New York. She adds that it won't be there for long because there's an auction happening tomorrow, and the ring is one of the items for sale. She also mentions that the museum has an anonymity clause, which will keep the buyer's identity secret after the purchase. Cole looks confused, but Lydia says he can just return the ring before the auction so that the ghost will be gone forever. Cole asks what Lydia means, and she says that reuniting the rings will set the ghost free instead of keeping it trapped in the world alone forever. She adds that Cole will be doing the ghost a huge favor by breaking the curse.
Pretty crazy. Wow.
When Cole returns home, he sees that B has decorated his room. Cole looks confused and asks what's going on, and she says she wants him to play her one of his songs. Cole says he wants them to talk about something first, but B tells him to sing and stop talking. Cole does just this, and B looks very impressed. She also tells him to play the song at the school's talent show, but he says he doesn't really play in front of people. B then encourages him to change his mind, and he says he wants her to be at the show. B promises to be there when he's on stage, and Cole looks happy. B then asks what he wanted to talk about earlier, but he lies that he already forgot.
What did you want to tell me before?
The next day in class, Cole seems anxious as he repeatedly checks when the auction will end. Meanwhile, Porter returns a graded assignment to the students, and Cole sees that he got a D. As the class ends, Porter announces that the talent show has been postponed because a pipe burst in the auditorium. After everyone leaves, Cole goes to ask Porter why he got a D. Porter then says he actually found Cole's answers about the Great Gatsby's themes to be interesting, but that they were just regular answers, which don't seem to be Cole's real thoughts about the book. He also tells Cole to redo the assignment and use his own voice to say what he thinks. He adds that he doesn't think Cole is a boring person, even though he's trying so hard to be one.
This is not what you think about the book.
After this, Cole heads to the music room to practice with B. He seems quite distracted, and B notices this. As he drops his guitar, B sees a message from Lydia on his phone, asking if he went to the auction and whether the ghost is gone. B looks confused and asks what it means, and Cole explains everything Lydia told him. Cole says he didn't want to tell her earlier because he thought she wouldn't want to go away. B seems annoyed because the auction has ended, and Cole didn't give her a chance to decide for herself. She says she had a chance to be free, but that Cole was too selfish because he wanted to have her around. She then tells him to leave and drop the ring, and he does just this. Meanwhile, Lydia calls Katerina to ask if Cole is at home. Katerina then mentions that Cole left for school and said he had to practice music with his friends. Lydia looks confused, but doesn't say anything else. Almost immediately, Cole arrives home and heads straight to his room, and Katerina notices that something is wrong. Elsewhere, Lydia arrives at school and hears someone playing the piano in the music room. She immediately realizes that it's a ghost, and as she finds the ring, she puts it on and sees B.
He likes you a lot, you know, Cole.
Meanwhile, Katerina heads to Cole's room and asks what's wrong. Cole says he's just trying to redo his assignment, but that he doesn't know what else to say about the Great Gatsby that hasn't been said before. Katerina asks what he thinks about the book, and Cole says it's about a boy who falls in love with a girl from the past and misses her badly. As he stares at a photo of his dad, he says that the boy in the story couldn't get the girl back because she was gone, and this made him feel incomplete. Cole then says he misses his dad dad, and Katerina says she feels the same way. She adds that it's a good thing because they wouldn't have missed him if he were a bad person. She also mentions that Cole's father gave them the privilege of missing him. Cole says it doesn't feel like a privilege, but Katerina mentions that missing someone means you love them, and that's a good thing.
Those moments are who I am.
Elsewhere, Lydia sits with Bea and mentions that Cole really likes her. Bea asks how she knows, and she says she could just tell. She adds that he seemed a bit unhappy when she told him about the possibility of breaking the curse. Bea still doesn't like the fact that Cole didn't tell her about the auction, and Lydia says she's right to feel that way. She adds that she just doesn't think Cole is a bad guy, and he probably did the wrong thing because he's lonely. Back at the house, Cole decides to correct his mistake by calling the auction house and pretending to be the buyer of the other ring so he can find out the real buyer's name. Unfortunately, his plan doesn't work, but someone at the museum informs him that if he's the real buyer, his name will be confirmed the next day with External Affairs, which is in charge of processing all auctioned items before they are shipped to their respective owners. Just then, Cole realizes that the ring is still at the museum, and he heads back to school to tell Bea.
Yes, they'll be shipped tomorrow morning.
It's still there.
When he gets to the music room, she throws the ring at him, and he eventually puts it on. She still seems pissed at him, but he apologizes and tells her that they have another chance to reunite the rings because the other one is still at the museum. Bea looks happy and asks where the museum is, and Cole says it's in New York. Just then, Lydia enters the room and offers to take them there. Cole looks shocked when he sees her, and he realizes that she already knows about Bea. Much later, they arrive at the museum, and Bea helps Cole break in. They eventually find the External Affairs office and locate the box containing the other ring. As Cole opens it, he asks if Bea is ready for him to take off the ring and put it back. Bea says she is, and Cole says he'll miss her. Just then, he takes off the ring and puts it back in the box before leaving the museum.
Bye.
When he returns home, he looks sad and decides to admire Bea's old photos in the album. As he looks through them, he notices that the missing pages have now been filled with new photos of Bea graduating from college, becoming a pilot, and having her own family. Cole looks happy to see that she achieved her goal and got her life back. Interestingly, it turns out that after Cole returned the ring, Bea found herself back at the museum in 1928, just before she left with the ring. This time, the security guard agreed to close his eyes so she could do her magic trick, and Bea quickly returned the ring. She then left the museum with her friends and avoided getting hit by the car that had killed her earlier. In the present day, Cole submits his assignment again and talks about how Gatsby believed he could bring the past back to life. He adds that what Gatsby didn't understand was that we don't need to bring our past back to life because it's already with us, and it stays for as long as we're able to remember it. Porter seems impressed with the new submission, and Cole meets up with Lydia and his new friends in the cafeteria as he thinks about Bea.
We don't need to bring her past back to life.
Days later, Cole heads to the auditorium with his guitar and decides to play it with the hope that Bea will somehow be watching him. As he starts playing the song, Bea from 1928 suddenly gets drawn toward the auditorium, and even though she can't see Cole on stage, she imagines that he's right there. After Cole loses his dad, he relocates to a new town with his mom. There, Cole finds an ancient ring that is connected to the ghost of a girl named Bea, who separated it from its pair many years ago. Despite initially trying to avoid Bea, Cole eventually becomes close friends with her. After a while, he gets the chance to help Bea break the curse, but he refuses to do it because he doesn't want her to go away forever, like his dad. Bea doesn't like this, and as Cole reflects on The Great Gatsby, he realizes his mistake and makes amends. In this story, we learn that even though it might be hard to deal with grief or let go of the past, we have to understand that it will always stay with us for as long as we're able to remember it.